They probably get those like at a cost though. That's what I'm thinking to myself. Hey, how are you?
Present. Trustee Franklin.
Present.
Trustee Golden. Present. Trustee McFadden. Present. Trustee Jenkins. Present. Trustee Brooks. Mayor Rudis.
I'm here. Stand for our pledge of allegiance, please.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So for public comment, I have the sheets. Ms. Robin Walker. She hasn't made it in yet. She comes in. Okay, we'll start with Miss Millie. Miss Millie, you have 3 minutes. Tommy Miller will start the time when you open the voice with the person. Good to see you. Happy belated Mother's Day to you this morning.
Good evening, everybody. She's gone already? I guess what I'm referring to is Ms. E. Is she here? Is she still working for the village?
Okay, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. Ms. E needs to go. She's not running this village properly. Not just in my opinion. I have so much proof of what is going on here that is not conducive. It is not conducive to this village. I don't understand why she's still here. I'm not even asking the mayor, but I'm asking the trustees. And I'm trying to be civil about it. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to communicate. I like to know how come or how can you continue to have this woman who has taken over $54,000 and lied on November 18th to the world. How do you endure that? Trustee Bell, I'd like to know, did you get that information that you requested?
Yes, I did.
Let me just finish, please, if you don't mind. I'm gonna be on this with Miss E and also with Ms. Coffey, because I don't understand how you allow these people to still work in this village and you take away the chief of police. I'm gonna also be talking with you, Mr. Miller. I've been talking with Mr. Casaldo and the other gentleman here. I think he shied away, Mr. Wargo, but I see you're back. Okay. But we're gonna be talking a little bit more. Do you mind if I call you?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Morgan.
Yeah, that be recognized.
Yes, Trustee Jenkins, absolutely.
I did receive everything that I asked Ms. E for in the last, board. She did give me everything that I requested and more than she probably wanted to. And more than she probably wanted to. What I'm going to request now, well, she's not here, so I can't request it, but I can request it from Giselle Kelly because, you know, she handles all that. And my question is why was $174,000 moved from the special events account?
I didn't hear that.
$174,000 is moved on 2/22 from the special events account into the general fund for payroll. And we were not, it did not come through board approval. So I have a question about that and I need to know an answer. And so since that has occurred, I want this read into the record. I want to see a statement for from 2/22 to from February, March, and April, reflective of that money going deposited into the payroll, deposited into the bank account. I need to see it, and I need to see that it went to payroll, and that's exactly where it went. And I'm looking at the balance and I'm questioning a lot of things. As of the second, it was $1 million, $999,000. I need to know, where did this $1 million come from? And why was the ARPA money put into this account? It should have been put into a sub-account. That is what is required. Attorney Miller, would you please find out if that's what's required of the money to make sure that it is audited properly? That's what I would like to see.
All right, thank you, trustee. Robin Walker, next person, please, on your line. Ms. Walker.
Are you reading that from?
Oh, this is the special, I said that this was the special events account. And I wanted to ask, is this the MOS account as well, or do they have a separate account? Ms. Kelly. So everything is going into this one account that we receive? Everything from grants, from whatever comes is going into this one account. So how do you make sure that everything, how do we know that $469,000 was not spent? It's still there. She told me that it was there, but how do you know? And everything is mixed together. We need to know what is all in this account. And now I'm going to request the audit of the account. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Walker. Good evening. Happy belated Mother's Day to you as well.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things. I just wanted to give first a big shout out. I think that both of them are gone, but the prior chief Wilson and also Officer Murphy, they've been coming out and they've been assisting us a whole lot, hands-on with baseball, even though they're not a part of the village. I was just told, but they've still been coming out, assisting and helping, coaching and things like that. So I want to give a shout out to them first and a big thank you. Also, Ms. E is not here, so maybe Mayor, I'm hoping maybe you will have some answers as far as what's going on, updates with the fields.
I went to see the fields today. They've been done. I saw Regal Farm today and Palmer Park. So the fields have been done. So what I would suggest, there's a little more fine tuning that needs to be done on those baseball fields. My suggestion would be some of the parents or your volunteers, just take like some steel rakes and kind of rake it out to smooth out the infield, some of that nature.
So the question I have is, no, we had called out some people to come there yesterday because the village couldn't do it in a timely manner, saying that we got a game coming up. So we called out.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
We
Just
called,
saw it done.
yeah, we called out a contractor to have them start trying to work on that and hurry up and finish it by Friday. So my question is, how is the village gonna reimburse us back that? What? Because the village was supposed to do that.
Listen,
So,
I do the politics. You got to talk to somebody when they
so is he for that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then also I noticed, I seen the porta potties were there and now they're gone. Does anybody know why did they come to get the porta potties after 2 days?
Where is Miss E? She's the village manager.
Okay,
I'm asking a question.
go ahead, Ms. Bowman. Go ahead, trustee Bowman.
From what I understand today, they were only ordered for a certain number of days. They weren't ordered for the entire baseball season or whatever, and they're paying for them daily. From what I gathered today.
Okay, so that was what the request was. We need to have those porta potties out there the whole time, like who would? Does that make sense for to have them 1 day or 2 days when the season haven't even started yet? We need them for the kids to be able to.
Not for the whole season.
Okay.
So that may need to be, related again.
So can we please take care of that? Somebody like ASAP, we need the porta potties. They'll be there on Friday. Kids will be out there. Kids been out there for the last month. We've been asking for them. Okay.
The porta potties are gone?
Yeah, they were there for 2 days and they just took them away.
Got a few seconds.
Also, the water is still not working in the concession stand. Ms. Keeley, do you have an answer for that or know what's going on with the water situation?
Ms. Robin, I am not part of Park and Rec, so I have no idea.
Oh, because I know she.
Ms. Morgan, let her die off her time.
Yeah, that was in 2018, that was the last time I was
over the parks.
Okay.
You're talking about the water down at the,
Yes, at the concession stand at Craig
now,
Park.
Craig Park. I know that there was something that Apple came out, they're trying to figure out something, but I don't think there's anything on the village app. I know Apple was down there with Banco the other day trying to figure out something about the water.
Okay.
So I don't know the full, 911 on it, the 411 on it.
Cause
I
the
know that,
village, cause Aqua has been there 3 times. The village was supposed to have been buying a piece, fixing it. I thought that was done last week. It's still not done. I was just here.
So I don't know.
So can we please make sure that these things are being done? And, Miller, this is why I was asking to have that. Can we speed that along with that, document I had asked you for and sent to
I
you
sent the draft to I gave a draft.
again?
What do you mean again? I gave a draft the first time.
Memorandum of understanding, which would say which is the first.
The memorandum of, understanding, cause I got that one and I sent you
You
back.
didn't send something to me.
To trustee Brooks, we didn't send you that one back.
I didn't get an email with anything back. Did you guys give a physical document or sent it in?
Email.
I didn't get an email, but let me check and see I can check through our server. I know I didn't get an email back, but I'll check and I'll let you know.
Okay.
If I got it.
I'll email it to you again. I'll email it to you.
Okay, yeah, what email address did you send it to?
I sent it to him and he was supposed to forward it to you, so I'll make sure that you get it. I have to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Walker. Our next person, board and resident, item 518, presentation regarding 34 Town Center unfortunately was in a car accident and will not be attending. We'll get them with the Black Fire Brigade on the next committee meeting. So we'll go right on, Mr. Kenneth Webb and Fact Finders and Nerds Express. And this is regarding village-wide camera systems.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, trustees. Thank you for allowing us to make this presentation this evening. My name is Kenneth Webb. I'm the president and CEO of Fact Finders Group Incorporated. We are a security investigative firm located in Matson, Illinois. We've been performing work for this village from an investigative approach for the last 10, 15 years. I have with me my partner, Mr. Dustin Barlow. And what we have done is form a collaboration of physical security specialists and technology specialists. And that's what Mr. Barlow's specialty is, technology. With that, we think we bring to the village of University Park and our clients a special niche, something that everybody needs today when it comes to fighting crime and dealing with visibility. So what we propose to you is to provide this entire village with closed circuit television technology, where we can catch and view facial recognition, license plates, crime as it occurs, and make your community a safe place. Mr. Barlow will explain to you some of the intricate details of what we propose to do.
Good evening. My name is Dustin Barlow.
It's in the mic, Barlow, please.
Yeah, my name is Dustin Barlow, president of Nerds Express. As Ken mentioned, we formed a collaboration. My background has been in IT. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. And together, combining my skill set with Mr. Webb's skill set, we're able to, combine both the law, legal side of it, as well as the technology side. So basically what we're proposing is that we've been doing this for a lot of other cities where we would actually give a technology platform that is really a patented technology that can do what they call cloud federation. So what that means is that we can bring in all the various systems that the University Park might have, such as access control card readers, intrusion detection systems, which is alarm systems, gunshot detector, or either an in-car video for the police cars, to body cameras, bring it all into a centralized platform, as well as all the various municipality buildings. We can all bring into central real-time crime center. where officers can monitor 24/7, as well as get, they call analytics, various alerts, such as if there's an incident, facial detection, gunshot detection, or anything that might trigger any cause of alarm, so that the officers can more quickly respond to it. Furthermore, this platform that will allow you to do that can actually be expanded out to local businesses and residents. What that means is that the various gas stations, corner stores can also be part of this program as well, because we can also service them where they can install a camera at their facility, and with their permission, can allow the police department to be able to view the video real time. That way, it's actually added value to the local businesses and residents. We're all collaborating together, where we can, with the one common goal of community safety. What I did do too, I do have a presentation that I will make sure to send over to the media department that can be viewed for the entirety. That actually will show you a little bit of how the platform looks, kind of show you some integrations, so that's license plate recognition and how everything ties in, as well as some of the benefits from, not only the police department, like officials, to the residents and local businesses, all the different values, and kind of see what it looks like in a real-time atmosphere.
So with that, are there any questions?
Well, we're always gonna take some, if that's it, what you guys are gonna talk about, I'm quite sure we can have some dialogue with questions and talk about it. Because I guess one of our concerns with the economy, with gas prices going up, with food prices going up, is causing a chaotic mindset. Crime is up, robberies are up, so, and we don't have any protection right now as far as visibility goes. So we're very interested. This is something that we all talked about, our metric station, around our schools, around our parks. It's where we need this 21st century. So there's a question, Mrs. Morgan, then anybody else has questions, we'll go along and have a dialogue, and we'll keep on talking.
Well, we would love to partner with you.
You spoke about different businesses. We don't have that many businesses. And crime, there's a lot of a few petty crime. So I'm just thinking, does it really make sense, Mayor and trustees, to get such an expensive, I'm sure there's great expense, to take videos of no activity? And I think not too long ago, we just had a camera system put on Western, where it catches cars and all of that. So I guess I'm just wondering, is that a good decision today?
Let me explain that camera system on Western Avenue. We are participating, but Will County has took the initiative. And in the forefront, those are license plate video cameras. So if there's a crime and there's, let's say, a blue Chevrolet that's fleeing the crime scene or leaving town in an expedited manner, then the license plate reader will be able to recognize who that is, they can run it in, that it's not a stolen car, but they can come to some conclusion to the criminal way.
How we're not like Orland. I'm sure you're familiar with Orland and Chimney Park. We don't have businesses back-to-back lines all over. So I'm just wondering, this is really a good idea. Not knocking, I'm sure your system is wonderful, but we don't have much money. And I'm sure if Ms. E was here, she would let you know. Quit asking her. We don't have no money.
Well, let me just say this. As a retired Chicago police officer, 31 years, there is no cost that you can pay for safety. And for safety, to ensure that your children are safe. You see, what you have to understand is it ain't just you. It's everybody that comes in this community. It's the school buses. It's the police and fire. You have vendors, even though you may not have a large string of businesses, but you do have businesses. And they are susceptible to becoming victims of crime. Each and every one of you sitting in this room right here today is a possible potential victim. Crime just don't have no special place. It's everywhere. And if you look at like the mayor mentioned, the rising cost of living has created another criminal element. People are desperate. There's not enough money out here.
You're right.
You may be doing well, but there are a lot of people that aren't doing as well as you. But we want to protect our children. We want to protect our homes. We want to protect our schools. We want to protect our community. And if there is a culprit, we will give you the technology that will help us to identify and apprehend that person. Any other questions?
Trustee Franklin? So,
I'm gonna be clear about this. We are in for a very challenging summer.
Yes.
And the writing is on the wall. Just yesterday, I'm doing lawn work with my daughter, and we hear gunshots. Broad daylight, first night steady here. The amount of kids that are walking around with guns in their backpacks, idle time, making impulsive decisions is a scary thought. I'm telling you, we in for a very challenging summer. Our focus needs to be on security. Nothing else matters if this turns into what it can turn into. And we headed in that direction. I'm telling y'all.
it doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Listen to the trustee.
Home invasions, carjackings, murders, shootings. It's happening here. I'm willing to say that I want to shift my focus specifically on this topic, because it's going to be a challenging summer. And it started yesterday, and it's not even summer. The first 80-degree day, first night's day, this is serious. It's a state of emergency, and I hope you can, I keep saying it at every meeting, because I'm in tune with the young kids. I see it. I can talk to them, and I can try to mentor them, and I can try to help them. But it's already here. The gun's already here. The access is too easy to access a gun in 2021, 22 for a kid. And when you couple that with impulsive decisions, you have shootings, you have murders, you have robberies. This is not a joke right here. I know we don't have a lot of money, but I'm telling y'all, listen to me. This is serious right now. In the Village of University Park, we don't get much coverage like Chicago, but this stuff happening here that everybody don't know about, because a lot of stuff gets swept under the rug. We are literally going into a summer that could be a state of emergency, especially with the prices and inflation and people starving and people hungry. You got people doing crimes who wouldn't typically do crimes, but they have to do something to feed their families, and that's a scary thought. I'm open to this idea. In fact, I'm open to anything that can help protect the residents at this point, because if you don't believe me, just watch.
It's an investment in every single life that's here today, that hears the sound of our voices. It's an investment in human life, with child trafficking, with sex crimes, people coming from all over the place. We're foolish not to. We just took control of our metro stations. Now we've got the single people that might come at late at night in the middle of the bus. How could we not put cameras in the metro station, east and west side? How could we not put cameras on Cicero and Central, where we can get an X amount of dollars for all the overweight trucks that's coming into town? Also giving us protection. Say, how could we not talk about cameras around Coretta Scott? How could we not talk about cameras around Craig and Homestead Park and around our top notch? We talk about the speed bumps. We talk about life safety issues. There is no dollar amount that's not worth saving a life. It can be anybody. Other day, carjacking somewhere. They were in a stolen car. Another guy was coming out the store. That car was not better, not faster. But guess what the hell happened? They took that car and left the other stolen car. Right here in town now. Right here in town. Ain't nothing to play with. Ain't nothing to play with. I won't do it.
So how did the camera stop that incident?
If the camera does not stop the incident, it can be a live time. Shot spotters will give you a pretty much 80% location where the shots are fired from. We don't always have to wait for Will County to go back with the verbiage and say, this is what's location over here, this is the location over here. Time is of the essence. It can facial recognition, so if these people have records or other places, well, guess what? We found it. He's out in University Park. We've been so fortunate enough to go to other states just recently and capture people who've done heinous crimes here in University Park. So to not think about these cameras and invest in it slowly but surely in the most sensitive places, we would not be responsible for holding these seats. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Sir.
Oh, question. Mr. Webb, how long have you been in business?
I'm glad to say this is our 26th year in business.
How many other municipalities do you cover out in the Southland area?
With the closed circuit TVs,
Yes.
we don't cover any in this area,
Okay.
but we have installed them in Michigan and Detroit, Detroit specifically, and Dustin can elaborate on the other locations.
Correct. We've done several other cities in the Michigan area, you know, from the city of Detroit. We have the city of Inkster, it's, you know.
I can't hear you, Dustin.
I'm sorry, you know, city of Detroit is a pretty well recognized one. Like, they've adapted the technology. It's called Project Greenlight, which is highly referenceable, which we were involved with. That's a prime example. And this case studies to show how they did reduce crimes. I mean, even the fact that they had the green lights that spin around, people know that, okay, if I enter this area, I'm going to go to somewhere else because they clearly have high definition video on. So we know that's something we implemented there. There's other cities who've implemented various coin terms that are similar to green light, the city of Inkster. And so we've been involved with roughly over 100 different installs similar to this.
Well, I'm going to say this. I have known about fact finding many years. I myself had to go to Mr. Webb's office several times for different things, you know. And I am going to say this, when I listen to Trustee Franklin, Tutu Franklin, he's in tune with what is going on in this community, and he was involved in something recently that was unreal. And my daughter is 16 years old. She's in high school. She's terrified because she's worried. I was reading about a young child with social media that shot herself in the head live. And their parent had to run in there and see them dead. And this does not know where the gun came from. As I'm going through the communities and I'm outside, I'm starting to see things that are not familiar to me and what I was accustomed to when I moved into University Park. Things are changing quickly. And I mean, when I say quickly, I mean quickly. We're not living in Mayberry anymore. We have to protect ourselves. And to protect ourselves, there is no cost, like you said, for safety. Because you're not gonna know if one of your neighbors get killed or raped or whatever, or stuck up when they're going out to work in the morning. It's gonna be a problem. And so I think that this is a wise investment. And I think that, you know, this is a no-brainer because we all want to be safe. And there's no price on safety. So if we have to cut corners in other ways to do things, to provide this for our community, this is what is necessary. So when the hard decisions come up with this budget, I'm talking to my legislators that are sitting here with me. All the friendships, all the relationships, all of these different things are gonna have to be put to the wayside for the whole entire community. We have to make the decision to protect the community. What do we need on the right and what is required for us to have on the left? So it's necessary because we want all of these things in the community, but we're not willing to cut back where we need to cut back and make the sacrifices that are necessary to get the things that we need. And that means cameras throughout our community. That means safety for our children. That means safety for our seniors. Our seniors, you know, they packing, they not, you know, just walking around with their purse, they'll get you. So, you know, when you're walking up on them, you need to be very careful because they're not gonna go down without fighting. So with that being said, you know, I think that this is one of the wisest decisions that the village has made in a while. because it's important. Why not do it now when nothing has happened? We need to take care of the business of the community and invest in this.
Thank you, trustee. Okay, all right, Ms. Bobby, trustee McFadden, then I just see your hand. I got you next after, trustee McFadden. Stay right.
Mr. Webb, great
And then
presentation.
Mike, and then Mike, please. Trustee.
Mr. Webb, great presentation. Trustee Sonia, I agree with them. We need to protect our city. So this is something positive that we need to look into, and we need to make sure when the budget gets passed, we need to make sure this is.
Thank you so much.
Let me ask the question. Are there some portions that are grant affiliated or opportunity for grant money for security? I was noticing there was something in that infrastructure bill regarding some of that nature, technology.
Correct. We work with other cities before. There's a lot of other federal dollars out there. I know there's the Buying Road Recovery Funds. There's a lot of CARES Act funding too. Yeah. There's a lot of things out there that we can pursue, a lot of grants. And, I'll personally work with the university hard and to make sure that, anything we've done in other cities, we can help bring here in terms of the various grants that we pursue to help fund this, because the ideal scenario is that it doesn't cost your budget. There's already federal dollars set aside for these type of initiatives.
And money in Springfield regarding that, and also, yeah, there is money out there. Okay, thank you for that answer. There's a resident, Ms. Walker.
Yeah, two questions. Approximately how much might something like this cost? That's the one question. And then my second question is for the board and mayor is, I agree with y'all totally, but I was just wondering if we don't have no money for nothing else, it's always no money. Can we, is it possible that we can make this work? Cause all I hear y'all say is no money for no money. No money mean no money. Do we have it? Can it get done? Is it
Ms.
possible?
Wong, yes, we're going to make this work. And if that means that we have to make necessary budget cuts, the necessary budget cuts need to be done. It's not optional. So that means that it's gonna be some difficult times ahead, but it's gonna be done and done, because we have to protect ourselves. It's not something that is an option. We're not at an option right now.
So I don't think, just from an amateur's point of view, it has to be, it's a little more work that has to be done. It has to be collaboration with our police department and getting data and statistics on what are the hot areas, what's the suggested areas. So it's a process. I'm quite sure it is, because I've talked to other mayors. We're probably one of the only municipalities who don't have any kind of cameras.
Well, one of the most important things is that we would come out and perform an assessment. We wouldn't just throw cameras anywhere. We would collaborate with the local law enforcement officials, and we would also look at your crime statistics to determine where we should put this stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I did want to make a correction, we did install cameras and COVID scanners at School District 162. So I failed to mention that.
What's your message?
Yeah.
So I just want to say too, I mean, this is just one piece of the puzzle, because I already know people gonna say, oh, they want to put cameras up, we don't have no police, right? So it's more than one piece of the puzzle that needs to happen. But I believe that this is extremely important because a police officer can only be in one place at one time. So to hire a police officer is not going to have the impact of something of this magnitude. So the eyes in the sky are able to assist us with people that do the crimes, go to jail. And also, when criminals know that there's cameras up, it deters them from doing crimes. That's common sense.
Yeah, because you're right, because we need that reputation in University Park. Hell, we're not going out there, they got too much going on. They got the cameras, they got the police, because like Trustee Frank said, we get new patrol officers, younger patrol officers without high salaries. We need bike patrols, we need foot patrols. So we need to have our police department equipped with everything that the criminals have. ATVs, they got the little bike that's got on the path, car can't go there.
Right, so it's a recipe, but I think this is definitely a part of the recipe. As well as I've been talking about crime-free housing, put pressure on the landlords who are allowing crimes to happen on the premises of the homes that they have, excuse me, I'm talking, thank you, ma'am, homes that they are owning. And then also, we need to bring the owner of Brittany Woods to the forefront. And then there needs to be pressure put on that complex to make sure that they're doing their due diligence and providing security and lights and different things. So it's a recipe that needs to happen, but I do believe that this is definitely a part of the recipe and we need to be strategic. And to Ms. Walker's question, I agree. You know, this is not an option as far as it goes with funding because it's a life and death situation. So this is more important than anything else in my mind. And I keep saying that. So we have to find the money to protect the citizens because we are clearly in a state of emergency. Within the last 10 days, a young man at the middle school caught with a gun, loaded weapon. Like this stuff is happening right here. This is not nothing that we can put on hold. This is not nothing that we can, we have to figure out how to find the money, shift the money, make it happen to make sure that we're safe. Yeah, we gotta tap into every avenue we can because we headed to a place that we don't want to head to.
I think everything that everybody is saying is correct in a way, but I just think that things ought to be done in chronological order. Prioritize. You would think that, first of all, you talk about our children. They're totally, don't have nothing to do. There's no structure for the children. So they have nothing else to do but load the street. Then with that, you don't have no policemen. 3 policemen per shift is not enough. Along with having that, then you talk about getting cameras. So we're gonna get cameras. You're getting rid of policemen, our chief is gone. You don't have no other policemen. You don't give the children nothing to do. We have volunteers like myself, 33 years, and Ms. Robin, who is the baseball president. You have Ms. Starlosson. We have all these mothers and fathers that want to give children structure, but you wouldn't even give $600 for the baseball. I don't understand it. Okay. So you're talking on the side of your neck in a way. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So that's how come, sir, I appreciate your presentation was wonderful. But see, you don't live here and you don't know all the other things that's happening here. So when you do such a wonderful presentation, why should we have cameras all over the place and never damn police? There's something wrong with that picture.
And Mrs. Morgan, we know that taxpayers currently now are paying for a parking recreation system and are being deprived of that. That's why we advocate so strongly to support a park district and have some workshop to do that. Because it alleviates some of the things. So we have to be open-minded and we can't continue
doing everything else.
Okay, well, that's it. But right now, we're just gonna focus on these cameras because we know the problem. We're solution people here.
Okay.
All right. We're solutions. Yes, Mrs. Lawson.
I think in being solution people, we have to have the vision to make our village safer. Ms. Morgan spoke in terms of doing things in order, and I believe in doing things decently and in order. And so you invest in your young people and you teach them, the community, the village has to make an investment that way as well. So you have to have the whole vision, not just come in and put in cameras. That's like going into schools and putting in, all the gates and everything in the schools and security in the schools, and nobody's really teaching or investing in the children. So I just want to encourage the board to look at a whole vision of where we would be 10 years from now. If we start to invest in our children right now, we can bring down some of these things that we're afraid are happening in our communities now. They're happening because we didn't see it 10 years ago And we didn't make any investment in our young people 10 years and 20 years ago. And so now we're feeling that in our community. We have to have an overall vision of how we want our community to be and invest in those important things. I'm all for safety. I want safety in our community. I'm all for having cameras so that we can see and be on the forefront of what's happening. But I also just implore you to have a vision for the future of our village and not just pump some cameras in here and not have any other oversight into what University Park will become in the years to come.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond?
You responded to that, sir, and we got one more question from the trustee. If not, we'll go to trustee Lewis. We'll go trustee Jenkins Bell, then trustee Lewis after you, Mr. Webb.
Well, you're certainly right about investing in the community. And one of the things that one of the young ladies said, I don't live here, but I travels through this community. I play golf at University Park. I've been playing over there ever since it's been there, before it was there. I'm always buying food at one of the food places in this community and supplies at some of the stores. But one of the other things that we bring to the table, we have a non-for-profit organization. And in that organization, we have opportunities where we go to the community and we provide things like low voltage wire training. Same thing with the closed circuit TV and the cybersecurity aspects. We are members of what they call the United States Minority Contractors Association. And with that, we have a STEM program, we have an AET program where we can have training. But we need the community to come to us too. We need to let the community have us be involved with what's going on in your community. Because, I mean, it's a happy medium for everybody. So just to let you know, we're just not coming in to just take your money and run. We're gonna be part of the problem and the solution.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Mr. Webb, I'm looking at the situation and I heard Ms. Lawson and Ms. Miller, and this is healthy conversation so you can see everybody's point of view and where they stand so you can collaborate. And I think that's a good thing. But, I want to ask you a question and you've been around for, in business. Wow. I want to know what we have allowed so many businesses to come into our community. They come in with these fly-by-night businesses. They here one day, gone the next. Economic development over there. They have stepped up and did a little something. But I want to know, what type of neighbor are you going to be to this community and to our children? How would you, not just with a STEM program, because we have sports organizations and the STEM program is nice, but what type of neighbor are you going to be with our children?
Well, for me, I'm a stakeholder.
Okay.
And that's really important when you are part of the community.
Okay.
I eat here. My office is at 4747 Lincoln Mall Drive, Matson, Illinois.
Okay.
I drive right down the street. I come over to University Park 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. I get buy my gas over here. I buy food over here. And I also service this wonderful village. We provide investigative services for University Park. We've done that, and we've supported you guys in many, many ways. When you ask fact finders, we step up to the plate. And we will continue to do that. Got my word on that.
Okay. Also, I do support all my trustees on here, but we also need to add another piece of the puzzle, which is crime prevention strategy. Also need to be a part of this process as we're talking about the safety of our village. We need to have that added to the agenda, as Trustee Jenkins Bell has said, as well as Trustee Franklin. That needs to be a part of the agenda.
Will we have a prevention program for this?
I agree, and that would definitely be part of our assessment.
So real quick, as we wind down, we got Trustee Franklin, we got Mrs. Mary in the back. As we wind down, so say for instance, this moves forward and we want to get started. So tell us the step, assessment, tell us the step, the process. This isn't something that happens overnight.
And the cost, how much?
No, we don't know that. Just listen.
So the first step is we would meet with all the department heads, we will meet with the mayor, we would determine, okay, where are we have an assessment. We want to know all the statistics, we want to know where all the vulnerable areas are, and we'll prioritize that. We'll work with you. Again, my whole vision is that I will want to see this back on our general fund. We're trying to find grant dollars to pay for this. So the cost is really not that much of a burden on the university part. So that would be the first step. And then not to mention, from there, once we make a determination, we figure out, okay, we do this in phases, we roll this out. And we'll get the city prep first, and then after that's functioning, it's working, and then we know we have all the area covered, then we'll look to roll out to the community. We'll work on local business and develop a formal program where business will be part of this initiative. They will know the process, become part of it. And we will definitely assist and work with them all the way. Again, we look at this as a long-term relationship with the university part. Follow with the trustees, request that. I mean, I had the same passion, just like Mr. Webb mentioned. We want to implement workforce development. We want to work with the local residents. We want to teach some skills because ultimately someone has to service these campus, right? Someone has to be able to be there and be standby support. So we would love to, this is a lifelong passion for me. We're going to partner with University Park to develop workforce development so that we will instill these skills so that they can work with us, make sure that the camera goes down. Okay, this is the resolution. We need to rerun the cable. We need to do this, we need to program it, and as well create opportunities and jobs for the field.
With the influx of people, I anticipate the year with 22,000 plus jobs at the metro station with people coming into the new jobs and everything. It's going to be a mass of people coming in. There's going to be great economic opportunities. It's really going in a good direction. Trustee Franklin, as we wind up, prayer.
Okay. I'm sorry, I just don't want to rush through this topic. It's such an important topic to respond to. I want to say thank you for your comment, and I agree that what we see is a manifestation of not investing in our children in appropriate ways for the last 20 plus years, along with subliminal messages in the music, along with video, social media, access to guns, new drugs, young parents, and a host of other things. And I agree with the vision. But my question is, what do we do right now for this summer that's coming up? In a perfect world, we can say, hey, we have mentoring programs, and we got a STEM program. Put your guns down and come on over here and be a part of this.
Trustee, I know something we can do like actually right now, that would take a lot of them off, like right now at this moment. We can start by putting the rims up. That Palmer Park, basketball keeps a lot of people out. We can start right there with something simple, put the basketball rims up in April, beginning of April. That'll help. So we can just start right there, right now.
So that's
a quick look.
that's like saying, put some basketball rims up in Inglewood and they'll stop shooting. They're gonna shoot at the park. The kids have guns already. And see, that's why I'm trying to ring the alarm. We'll get bigger crowds at the park and there'll be more guns at the park. So I'm saying, what can we do immediately? And that's why I appreciate this conversation that we have. And I'm with you on that. I'm being a devil's advocate because I know how kids are. Just like we got the park and painted did nice things in the park and they can't spray paint the garbage cans. I was glad they didn't spray paint the buildings, right? But the park looks nice, but kids gonna still do stuff. So in a perfect world, yeah, we can put up basketball rims and do these different things. But we're in a place right now where these kids already have guns. And you can frown your face all you want, but I'm telling you, we have to be proactive to save lives right now. Somebody was shot yesterday. A kid had a gun in the middle school last week. The murders continue to raise. The gunshots continue to happen. There's more and more gunshots. This is not a basketball realm issue. This is a risk. This is an issue where we have to now make sure that the people who are doing the crimes know that we're putting things in place so they bust and go to jail. And send a message to them. So they don't think that they can just come to University Park and do whatever they want to do, because that's what they're doing. People are coming out here, shoot people and leaving. Some of the stuff is not even our residents. People are moving out here because they saying we can move out here and do what we want to do. So it's time for us to send a message. And I agree. It's a menu of things that need to happen. I agree. The basketball realm is a part of it. More programs and activities is a part of it. More policemen is a part of it. More mentoring programs is a part of it. But I'm concerned about these next couple months. And if you don't believe me, you're going to see. We have to do something. The cameras will get the people arrested. What's going to stop the incident? You tell me. Since you know everything, what's going to stop the incident? The police can't stop the incident. One police can only be in one place at one time.
Mr. Morgan, let's get on. Listen, everybody has their opinion. We have to make these decisions, the hard decisions, for the welfare of the community. Finish, trustee. Thank you. Ms. Mary, appreciate it. Mrs. Trustee, I'm sorry. Excuse me 1 second. And see, that's some of the problems. We invite problems when you get on public TV and say, we only got this, we only got that. Come on, if I'm a criminal out there, oh, we only got that there. Now, come on, let's be thinking, let's care about our community as we say we do, and do the best that we possibly can to ensure that every single resident in this town is safe. It's ridiculous to sit up here what we don't have. The cup is half full and we reach that time. So we're working on it. It's a work in progress. Go ahead, Ms. Mary, I'm sorry.
I know you people are tired of hearing me say these things, but it's absolutely true. And say what you will to make, these guns didn't just happen. Adults were involved in it and they brought the guns here. You know it. You know it. There are guns everywhere. And when you start talking about taking the guns away, the National Rifle Association, everybody else will be here and ready to cut your throat. Right. You know it. You know it. Everybody here knows.
I'm a father of a gunshot victim. It's not a good feeling.
Exactly, including your son. And they all have guns. How many people in here have a gun? But you play golf, and let me tell you, basketball is a black man's golf. And to these children who don't have fathers, 70% of these homes in universities they're headed by women who are probably out for work, doing work. This is all over. I got a family member that works up north where the $1 million homes are, plus. She services the whole area. They're robbing up there where the people have money and have something to buy. Then you will see the car back out here because he can bring it to his mama and his daddy who's crossed the track everywhere. He can bring it out here and leave it. But they're not doing, working in my house won't help you in it because nothing in there is real. Everything is cosmetic. Okay, but there's a lot of cameras around my house too. Yes, you know, everywhere you go, somebody sees you. But we've gone through the same shit before. For those of you who've been here for a while, do we remember Craig Park and all those cameras down there? Exactly. Do we remember River Farm and those cameras? Exactly. Yes. And what? Waste of money. And the basketball, we remember all that. Of course we do. But these children in the meantime, so many policemen in my family, I am so glad that my granddaughter's father retired from Chicago Police Department. I am very happy because she wants her daddy to come home too. But all these cameras, all this noise about gunshots, you ain't caught nobody. All millions of dollars spent over here and over there.
haven't heard them catch anybody in Chicago with those cameras. Okay? We see you on TV. So you see the woman pulling, the man pulling the mattress down the street and all that. Did you catch it? You see the guy going in the store, taking out the big watches and stealing the cars. How many of them did you bring? Excuse me? Oh, okay, I thought. We see all this, but did you arrest them? No. Do you want to do like the mayor of Aurora, lock them all up? That's one way of dealing with them. Lock them up. Let's pick up your kid and lock him up too. But spend some time with your child and maybe somebody else's too. Before we have to lock up your kids or your grandkids or whatever. Make preparation and lock up your kids too. The hospital was open, Mayor Rudez, the hospital was open when your son got caught. Shot him where? The head,
10
everywhere
times,
else.
all over, yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't in University Park. These things gonna happen because that's the way we're raising our kids. We're a lack of raising them. So throwing up all these cameras, you gotta spend some time with them people. And I'm for that. Okay, but I'm not just throwing away money, my money, because I'm the taxpayer. That's right. I swear my husband got a camera everywhere. It's cameras all over the place. And you can come there and take everything here. It's gone. We saw the man coming, having to put a TV in our garbage can and all that. Nothing we can do. Well, we put it up, we got it, so we see it. But what are we gonna do? We call the police, let the police. I have a police card right in my foyer there where I can call and show you my stuff on my camera. But what is good? You got to spend some time with these children. Exactly. You got to do some things that head it off. You out there playing golf, mister, and you are playing golf because you don't have to be at home cleaning up or dealing with your wife, somebody squawking like me. Okay? That's where you are.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's fine and good too, but I've been around here a long time and I'm for this IT and all that, and I'm for this because like I say, I got them all over my house. But you know, you can't take too much of our money here. We don't have too much of it. But most of the money is being taken up north and they coming back to your house with it. Those children live, when they say somebody turned in, those children are living with your aunts and your uncles or somebody in your house. Spend some time with you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Trust. Thank you, Mrs. Williams. It's not talking about my son, man, because seeing a person that's bleeding to death and get shot that many times and then watching him take the bullet out of my son's head, thank God for his life is blind behind that. It's something that no one wants to deal with or encounter. And God forbid that when people lose their loved ones to senseless acts of violence by death. So it's a horrible situation. It's a chaotic place in the world that we live in. And what we want to do as a governing body, do our very best to ensure that every resident is safe as possible that we can do. Bottom line, make a long story short, where there's a will, there's a way. As everyone said, you find daggone money for everything else, you find money to protect our residents and the people that come in our community. Because we provide. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. And just keep in mind.
And we'll follow up. Maybe if it's the consensus of the board, you guys can go ahead and start doing a draft, but not just that, an assessment. Just basic assessment, working with our police department, looking at hot areas and where the statistics say that this might warrant where this needs to go. All right, and we'll take the conversation moving forward.
Shouldn't it be 3 bids?
Okay.
That's the way we operate with 3 bids?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a variety of ways. Okay, here's another big deal. Guys, come on. I don't want to be saying these names. Suresh, come on. These gentlemen are here to help us and give us some input with our water situation. We're not going to keep sitting there being failed hospital. We're going to find ways to get away. No time, no patience, understanding.
big picture, way beyond our term. Floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. How much time do I have?
It's on you. It's important. Water is life.
It is. Security comes after first for water. My name is Suresh Jambanathan, and thank you for letting me speak. I'm here as part of the USMCA, which Webster, Bernie Hill, and Ketan Kale. We are all part of USMCA. We have different companies, but we really are USMCA members. I met Mayor Rudez casually at the last USMC meeting, and that conversation found out that there may be an issue with lead entering the water. In the previous life, by the way, I have my own consulting company, consulting project development company. It's called Energy and Water
Can you
Development.
talk up a little louder?
Yes. I have a.
Take the mic like a singer.
And as I speak, if my accent isn't clear, please just raise your hand, because the point here is to communicate clearly. And I will absolutely not be offended. In fact, I ask that you stop me if I'm not clear. So I have my own consulting company that does project engineering across energy and water. It's up in Aurora. And when I spoke to, casually met Mayor Rudez at the last USMCA, I understood that there was an issue with lead entering resident homes. And it's a technical issue which has health implications, including cognitive decline. And that's really important. There are a dozen ways to solve the problem. All of them require money, and all of us here as taxpayers, there's a federal program, US government program called WIFIA, WIFIA. If you Google search WIFIA, WIFIA, yeah, WIFIA. If you Google it, you'll find that is administered by the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. So the issue is not money. The issue is really clearly defining the lead issue. And then when I put on the engineering hat, it means understanding how much water is consumed, the concentration of the lead, and maybe other contaminants. The concentration times the quantity is the actual amount of lead entering the house. And then you look at how to solve the issue. Is it something as simple as changing the water chemistry? Maybe it's changing the pipes entering the home. Maybe something else. Standing here, I don't know what the solution is, but I do know, like Mr. Webb said, it starts with assessment. You've got to get the data. When you have data, then you conceptualize a solution or many solutions. Each solution will have a certain cost to it, initial capital cost, operating cost. And then the question is, does the new solution provide benefit compared to business as usual? As I understand it, business as usual is what will the drinking water be provided to the residents, which is okay as a stopgap, but the residents have decided that they want to continue that long term or look at a more sustainable solution. Adding to it and going slightly outside scope is, if you're going to do a water project, water improvement project, does it make sense to also generate your own energy? Half an hour ago, that parking lot was very sunny, right? And instead of you put a solar panel over there, you use the power to power all the lights. So you save the money to buy power from the grid. So there are literally the multiple things can be done, and the money is available. A lot of it is US government money or taxpayer money, and these programs are well known, they're public information. I will share that with you. So that was some of the overall headline, the executive summary. The devil is always in the details. And the first step, if there is indeed a lead problem, is to characterize it properly. And that means, sitting down, looking at data, historical data, trend data, quantifying the number, and then asking, how many people are going to lead versus to hospital? Is there a decline in their test score of students compared to another community, same demographic? That difference tells you the impact of lead, and hence economic impact on the community. These things can be quantified. And when you quantify something, you can actually put dollar value to it. So that's sort of the headline. I'll stop for a second. Any questions before I go to Chetan and to
Okay. Just a brief narrative. I was on the panel with 96 minority contractors, and water happened to be a discussion. So as I was explaining to him what the problem is, because
Unfortunately, Aqua has this community in a monopoly. They own the infrastructure, the water lines, the transfer lines, and everything. Since this thing occurred, the system was breached because when they brought in the new source of water, what the law required was them to take a piece of the existing pipe off and take it into the laboratory to test the effects of the new chemical into the piping. Unfortunately, in this instance, they decided not to do the basic thing by taking it to the laboratory. So what they did was computer-generated testing. So when they did the computer-generated testing and they implemented it into the new system, the chemical was sequenced, which is now banned by the US EPA, was extremely too strong and it stripped the interior scaling, or as most people call it, coating of inside of the water lines. At one time, the whole community was under the advisory, and as the IEPA and US EPA got more involved, then they come to make the determination is that it's only on the homes built between 1973 and 1988. At that time, lead solder was a permissible tool to join water pipes together. Since then, it's been outlawed and everything is PVC. So now, even though the Aqua Water Company, it was their breach, now they're twisting the game and putting on every single resident that has a property from 73 to 88, 87, somewhere in that area, including my home. There are 1,500 homes in the advisory. We don't know how many actually people, because we don't know how many people reside in each home. So his suggestion was that, well, let me come make a presentation because there's money there. If we can't get out the system right away, that there may be an opportunity for our residents who are on the advisory to get money to have the pipes replaced inside of their homes. So that is the purpose and the principle of their dialogue and conversation today. So it might be a little hard to kind of understand him at times because he speaks a little bit different of his accent, which I really like it, you know, it's really good. So we're doing anything and searching in all aspects to try to get a solution, multiple solutions, not band-aids, not quick fixes, but long-term fixes, because they would love to come and take this community because they figure we don't know what to do with it. Idealistically located, so many great amenities. So we're going to do our best to make sure that we maintain what we have, build on it, and deliver clean, safe water to our residents. So that's the principle of this whole conversation today, and that's why he's here. Mrs. Morgan, so you can ask the questions to, go ahead, Mrs. Morgan.
I want to ask you a question. Are you saying that they're talking about doing hiking
Yes. Yes.
all throughout the community?
On the homes that are in the advisory. The advisory, the land homes, that the 1,500 homes.
Okay, there's last meeting we had, there's a particular area, the vistas. I wonder, because it seemed like they're being neglected. I wonder if you and your associates can do a sample of one of the residents' water.
Yeah, but that's a good question. I mean, good. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, everyone. And my name is Jean Kale. I'm the president of the Architecture, Engineering, and Technology Division of US Minority Contractor Association. We are 200 plus members who are all individual business owners, contractors, engineers, architects, IT folks. So, when the mayor wanted to, discuss this solution, my background is I'm a water engineer by training and by education. I'm a licensed professional engineer, state of Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, 8 states. And I work only in the field of water and wastewater. That's what. So I love water. I love water to drink. I love water. I think this is the greatest resource. I'm not worried about gas lines or electric. I'm more worried about water as a resource because we have less than 1% fresh water on the planet Earth. So we have to guard this resource than any other resource. Fixing pipes is going to be a big problem with City of Chicago, City of Harvey, everywhere we go because of the lead, reaching out. It will change in the water chemistry. Now, the new infrastructure bill has a provision where we can use those funds
identify communities and use those funds to replace those pipes. Because it's not just fixing pipe outside the home or inside the home. We have to look at the whole picture. It's just, we have to solve the problem. We don't have to just fix pipes here and there. That's a plumbing issue. But because what is happening is there are 10 homes in a community. We just fix pipe in one home. That doesn't solve the problem. We have to look at the whole community, and make sure that everyone gets lead-free water. Just not solving one, So I'm thinking of the whole community. And that's when we need to, I don't want to give a band-aid solution and just go and fix it. That's when, we talk to the mayor and say, we need to look, and there's a confidentiality. I don't want to step on Aqua because they have a contract, they have some contract.
No contract.
So I don't want to, like say they're doing a bad job or somebody's doing a bad job. My goal here is, since as an association, we have a pool of expertise here. We have some experts in our, association we have contractors who work with water needs. So we want to make sure that as a team, we are able to provide some solutions. And then awarding the contracts, giving the money, that comes much, much later. But at least we want to see how we can help the mayor solve the water issue, which I think is a big problem right now.
I was just wondering, you say, Mayor, no contracts with Aqua?
No, the village
I
doesn't.
wonder how can they remove their pipes?
Not their pipes, our pipes. There's a main that starts where your property begins. That's where they're
So
talking
the
about.
pipe is out on
The pipe that starts, like the curb is here, this part belongs to the village, this side of the park belongs to the property owner. That's where it starts at, bringing into the home. That's what they're speaking of.
It's called a lateral replacement. Lateral replacement. So like I said, there's a main, if you're standing on the road, the water main, that is not the issue. The issue is the laterals, the service laterals that go inside the home. Now, at some point, it could be just a pipe that goes inside your home or all the way inside. So it's like into two parts, one that goes inside your home and one that's outside the home. So I'm not.
My pipe is straight. You come up, almost $6,000.
Yeah, so a typical, replacement project would involve, tearing up the street, removing it, roughly around $15,000 for every home. Just an average to replace, because it involves your driveway sometimes, it involves the sidewalks, it could be, so, every home is different. If it's on a corner, cul-de-sac, the cost may be a little more because you have to extend the pipe all the way up. So I'm just going to average $15,000 to $20,000 for every pipe replacement. Now, if you multiply that by 1,500 homes, that's a big number. Yeah. So
You want a $250,000?
yeah, around 15,000 to 20,000 is the cost of replacement. That's including the pipe, labor, everything. So now if you multiply that by 1,500 homes, you are looking at a big number. And I can say do this for one resident and don't do this for another resident. So we are talking about a community project. So we need to put our case in front of the feds and tell them, hey, this is why we need this money. So that way we can access a larger pool of money and get everything done at the same time. The reason is if you replace 10 homes, the same contractor can do it. Instead of calling the same guy over and over, it's better to get everything done in one. So when he opens up the whole road, he can fix all the pipes at the same time. So it doesn't.
We saw one area over at Sullivan.
So, I mean, our goal is to optimize the funds and make sure we get the whole community fixed, instead of just fixing few homes here and there. That's why we are, as an association, thought this is a great opportunity to meet with the mayor, understand the situation, and where, in terms of how we want to approach this, so we can have like a tiered approach where we take the problem, see what funds are available, what are coming, right? Assist with the grants or proposals. And then when the contracts will be awarded, we can involve our members in the bidding process. So they can all bid, like I can bid on the job, some contractors can bid on the job. Again, it's up to the mayor, but at least we got the, money to the village. As an association, that's what my goal is.
It's still working.
So, Sharif, your company, you are consultants, correct?
Yeah.
So you're just a consultant. We already have an engineering company, which is Antero, which has done the exact same thing. So I don't understand why we would get another consultant for something that we already have
a group to do already. And they've already did some type of assessment with the water. They stated also that the pipes leading into the homes were not affected. It's just the pipes within the house. So to me, this is like unnecessary to get a whole other consulting group to come in to look over and pay someone to do. When we already have a consulting group, an engineering company that does that. They get paid for that. So I don't see the purpose of this. No, we already have that terror group. They're the ones that engineer. They come up with the same type of plans. They did the same water assessments as well. So why would we bring in another consulting group to consult us on what we should do when we have that already? Excellent point. Did you hear her?
Yeah, I do. I have a comment. The Ontario group is a civil engineering group, and their expertise is not in water and energy. They can do civil engineering that shows where the pipe lines are when new construction comes and do blueprints and things of that nature. Totally a whole different scope of engineering, completely different. So exactly with the Carvana or the Amazon, they get the blueprint and they can work on which way things get routed. Ms. Dilworth, I think you're just mistaken or don't have the clarity. Ontario group has no background in water, just infrastructure, civil engineering.
But they're consultants. So
no, there are village engineers.
Right, they are village engineers, but they haven't done anything, but they came up with several plans in regards to the streets, the roads, the pipes.
Yeah, that's civil engineering.
The same type of thing, and you also brought in other people, and Terra has brought in people that was experts in certain aspects of what was needed. So if they needed an expert, they brought the expert in to help them come up with that plan. That's the exact same thing that they can do right now, is bringing an expert that has something to do with water, that knows the water, to help them come up with the plans. Getting another consulting group is unnecessary.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, trustee.
I don't know, I mean, they don't do it.
I want to thank you all for your presentation. This is another topic that I think is a bipartisan topic in the sense that everybody agrees that this is something that needs to be addressed. We've been battling with this for a while. We need help. We need help. This is a situation where the water is killing us slow and the crime is killing us fast. Take your point.
I think you're a point.
It's another. And I'm not even saying a joke, man. It weighs heavy on my heart, man, because it's true. You touched on something that I've been working on. I've been working on putting together a screening event for children birth to 8 in the community, so we can start taking a look at the potential effects that the water has had on the families who have made the children's formulas with the water, Kool-Aid and other drinks. I have an organization that I'm partnering with to hopefully be able to start that as soon as this summer, so we can help build the case and, as you say, get quantitative data to show that there's a crisis, and also give the families some ammunition to sue. This is a topic that, you have people who say that the board's not doing nothing about the water, as if we our houses and our families are not experienced it or affected it. It makes no sense. We need help. Aqua has treated us and showed us that they don't care about this little Black community, period. That's just really what's going on. And it is only so much that we can do. And I am. So I appreciate the dialogue, solution-based dialogue, because something has to happen, because we can't just continue to make excuses that, Aqua is not doing their part. So at some point we have to figure it out, because this is, once again, just like the crime, is becoming a life and death situation, even though we don't see it up in our face, really what's going on. But I guarantee you, if we start screening and assessing these children and really taking a look at the cognitive effects that the lead is having and had, it'll be detrimental. So I think this is another good conversation, good dialogue. Nobody knows the answer. It's not an open and closed book type of situation. And we do know that the replacement of the pipes in the homes is the solution. But how to get to that solution is the hurdle. Because like you say, you times 20,000 times 1,500 homes, and you're looking at a figure that's
$300 million.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to say I appreciate the dialogue. May I appreciate whoever's responsible for bringing them to the forefront. These are the conversations that we have to have because we have to figure out something. We have to figure out something. So thank you.
Yeah, when I was at on the panel and they started talking about water, because you know the future is basically water, hydrogen, and energy. So it ties right on in. So the conversation after the meeting was, man, we need help in University Park. There's something, if there's any possibility that this can work out for us, we're bringing all people to the table. And since we're talking about water, see everybody listening to the sound of this voice. We got to stop beating Uncle's tail what they concerned with. They're concerned with the dollars. So think about this. If every village resident bought $1,000 worth of stock and shares, or if the village bought shares, $100,000 of shares of Aqua Water, then we at the table. You think they want that? You think they want 5,000 shareholders at their shareholders meeting, talk about what they're doing to the Black and brown community? You think they want that? So it's time for us to look at every single way possible to fight that enemy. That's what they are. They're not a humanitarian, caring people, because if there was a mistake in a breach of it, they don't have the attitude or personality that they can't even work on getting the public trust back. We've asked Aqua Water to fix our swimming pool. It's right next to their pumping station. Show our residents that there's some kind of humanitarian effect. How do you get the public trust back? So since they've drawn the line in the sand, we're drawing the line in the sand. But just talk to people in Joliet. Joliet has spent over $500 million going directly to Chicago. I'm going to meet next week to see if there's any way that we can tap in to the Lake Michigan water that'll be going to Joliet for another 5 to 6 years. But in the meantime, we still have to work on developing our own infrastructure because the slavery days are over with. And there's no way in the world that a $671 million publicly traded company such as that treats us this doggone way, because all they're doing is concerned about their shareholders' dividend checks every doggone quarter. So that's what's going on. So we greatly appreciate your efforts, and we're going to ask you to continue our dialogue, do an assessment, see what it is, continue searching. Let's continue this. We're serious about doing this thing. We're thinking way beyond our time, because we got to plant that seed for the next generation, or we won't have anyone to take care of us. Ms. Lawson?
I think it's a good idea, the thought process to help residents with these pipes, because that would be a big issue for residents to have to, pay for these pipes. So I think the dialogue for that is wonderful. I too agree that Aqua has no care about us. Their care is about the money that they're making. I actually was in a meeting with Aqua today and expressed the very same thing, that, just for a matter of having good customer service, I didn't do anything to you. You did something to me. Why are you treating me so bad when I didn't do anything to cause my situation? And I think that's what a lot of residents are feeling. And we actually have no recourse. Now, if you have been made whole by Aqua, you don't have a problem with Aqua. But the majority of the residents in University Park have not been made whole by Aqua. And so, yes, we need to continue to bring this up. We need to think about viable ways to help the residents. I am all for this. If we have a consultant, as Donna said, who's already doing this, I don't think we need to double it. But if they are not the experts in water, I think we need to look at the people who are the experts in the water. Let's help the residents is what I'm hearing. When I think about me replacing those pipes, I need some help to be able to do that. If we're talking $15,000 to $20,000. It's not in my little red, duty burden. So I would need some help with that.
Are you talking about the residents paying 15,000 to 20,000?
No, Mr. Morgan, what he is saying is that it would cost the average resident maybe up to $20,000, because it's all based on the square footage of your home, because every single home will have different square footage. So you could, some may be $15,000 or more, some may be $15,000 or less. A 2,300 square foot home might be more than 1,000 square foot home. So it varies. And what we need to do is we need to get the people that are on the advice, let them do their analytical work, and then just continue a dialogue back and forth. Let's see what we can do.
But we do need to go back to Aqua, because we were told today in that meeting with Aqua that the reason they didn't go forward with restoring our pool is because they were asked for money. Aqua, just cut the check. It doesn't work like that. Exactly. Just cutting the check to University Park.
Outright lie from Aqua Water. Outright lie from Aqua Water.
We were told that right to our face, that that's why we don't have that pool restored. And I think we need to look into that, go back to that meeting with Aqua, because from what I'm understanding, they are willing to restore that pool. They're not willing to just cut the check.
I don't know what you're talking about, that ain't the dialogue. Ain't nobody else talking about that. No, we got it in black and white. Attorney Fain has put our demands. We've asked for an endowment fund. We've asked for quarterly.
From Aqua?
That's not to speak loud enough. We've asked Aqua for is an endowment fund. And Dr. Trustee Frank was saying, say little Billy is 6 years old right now and is doing perfectly fine, but he was in that advisory, was drinking that water with similar that was made with 5 years down the line. Well, wow, he doesn't have the mental capability that he should. He's not growing. Come to find out, he has traces of lead. So we've asked Aqua for an endowment fund. We've asked Aqua to restore the pool, and that's an outright lie for anybody to say we've never asked for a check. Miss Moore, let me finish, please. I got short-term memory loss, and I could have forgot it. So if you want to help me out, give me some credit. All right, so we've asked Aqua for quarterly water sampling reports. We've asked Aqua to engage in community outreach. We've asked Aqua for a variety of things. We've asked Aqua to be a good partner and show that you're concerned about our community. What else did we ask Aqua for? We asked them for a variety. Quarterly water sampling. We've asked them for an IGA, an intergovernment agreement. Can you believe that there is no agreement with the village of University Park and Aqua Water? There's not a contract. There's not a redevelopment agreement. There's not an intergovernment agreement. There's nothing. They have a monopoly on our community. They raise the rates by going down to the ICC, make a petition, and no one dismisses it. If we don't have over 500 people, they're not going to pay attention to us, and they're going to get their way. And you got to remember, that's a private water source. So they're exempt from a lot of FOIAs to find out who actually has the title or deed to the water system. We don't. We're being held hostage because they figured that simplification is real short because we got somebody else, and that's it. I grew up in Chicago, Ida B. Wells Project. Back then, it was Ida B. Wells, it was the projects, and this, that, and other. But all of a sudden, you start seeing crime rates going up, families were starting to move, and a murder here, the air group is doing something over here, and stuff going on. So before you know it, all of a sudden, all the black folks gone. Wow, we did just what we wanted. We got them to move out the area, and guess what? We done took that lakefront now. Now the same building that we own, that's $60,000 is worth $780,000. The brownstones, the gray stones. So what I see in the long run, with the emergence of all the great things happening in our community and all the Amazons popping up, they want us out because you can still find a home in University Park with a decent price, a decent yard, and good amenities. Idealistically located right off the ingress and egress of I-57 to take anywhere in the world. Second largest industrial park in the state of Illinois.
metro station, whether you leave it in the morning, at the beginning of the line, coming home is the end of the line. We got so many great things. What a great thing to do, take this community. We're not gonna do that, and I think that I'm gonna participate in that mannerism to chase us out of here. That's my opinion, I stand by it. If I died today, that would be my testimony, because I believe in it. We're gonna fight for the rights of this Petaluma community, because they're not gonna steal our diamonds and gold. We've been hoodwinked long enough.
And how long have you been on the board?
I've been on board a good amount of time to have enough experience and build relationships. I served 3 consecutive years, 12 years consecutive as a village trustee. This is my, May 14th will be my 3rd year as mayor.
And you all knew all along that you didn't have nothing from out.
Well, Ms. Morgan, thank you for your positivity. Thank you, guys. We'll continue our dialogue. Our last guest, we're gonna, Mr. Sir.
I just have 2 comments. First of all, it's $30 million, not $300 million. And then second of all, this water system was installed back in when I was a kid. So that must have been, you know, let's just take a stab in the dark and say 1970.
60.
Yeah, so that was long before any of their time.
So those pipes are just that old.
And what's your name, sir?
My name's Ian Braunstein.
All right, Mr. Braunstein, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, our last guest.
Nothing mistaken, thank you for catching that.
Mrs. Childers, go ahead. I got it, Mike.
Ms. Starr, I just wanted to give you all a history of Aqua's community involved, which was done. We would go to Aqua each year to request them to even put the water in the pool. One year, I never forget, they told us that the fire hydrant, the fire department couldn't turn it on. We had to wait for Aqua to come and even do the meter. Then that last year, when we met with them, they offered to give us a $500 stipend or whatever community versus filling the pool up. So it's never been a time that we would get any financial assistance. And turning the water on and putting the water in there would have been a plus for us, but they would never do that. Then we would get extremely, very high water bills. And again, we would question each and every year. So Aqua has never did anything far as the pool was concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Childers.
You're welcome.
Dan and Terrico, let's rock and roll, guys. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Let's have this, take it dialogue. I'll have to first reach out to them.
Yes, yes.
Good to see you, man. Like this, please. Hey, man, listen, by all means, let's help us out.
Sorry, you're here to help.
All right. Help me help out. Thank you.
Anytime I see this issue, City of Chicago, City of Aurora, everyone has the same problem. But I like to know.
Yeah, and the only thing different about those and us, at least they control their water. We don't have any control. We don't have nothing. All right, Dan.
Excellent. Right.
So a real brief scenario. This is our final conversation with Terrico. We have the board. The board has already pretty much approved everything else. This is the last.
We get one.
Get up. Good evening. My name is Dan Wander. I'm one of the,
Come on, Dan.
yeah, I'm one of the principals at Terrico. We are partners with the OM group, and we've been before the board before to discuss our development at Stucco and Central on University Park. We're really excited to be able to do what we think is going to be, really a signature development for this community. We're looking at 26 acres on the corner. We're looking to do.
Hey, guys, please, it's nice enough outside to have great time. Hello, this is important to us as well. Thank you.
We're doing a full-service travel center along with long-term truck and trailer parking. And then next door to that, we're looking to do a 900,000 square foot, new industrial building. And we've been through sort of the entitlement process. Tonight, we just wanted to briefly talk about the incentive package that we're talking about with the village. So the incentive package really comes in two different components. For the corner piece, as it relates to the travel center, we're looking at a rebate of sales taxes related to that development for a period of 15 years. And associated with, on that part of the development, the village will be receiving 100% of the real estate taxes. So that incentive, we'll be looking at over that 15 years, a cap of $5 million. So once we got $5 million worth of incentive during that time frame, we were able to perform in a positive way. Any other additional money would go to the city, and after 15 years, 100% of those revenues come to the city.
Excuse me, let me finish this, and I'm just moving around because I got a horrible cramp in my left calf. So we
And
got
then the 900,000 square feet, we're building that on a speculative basis. And we're looking at a 10-year incentive there to cap the taxes at 50 cents per year. So basically, as it relates to what the village is going to be paying between all the real estate taxes for different components here, we're looking at approximately we're under starting out $850,000 a year for the and then goes up every year, and then on the sales related taxes that we're looking at that are going to come back to us, it's approximately $250,000 a year. So we're looking at putting in total in terms of both phases of our development, approximately $80 million. We're looking at a cap of $15 million incentive, which is less than 20%.
Less than 20%.
Less than 20%,
right?
Yep, less than 20%. And you know, we're raring to go, hoping to be able to break ground on both. Probably the industrial portion probably wouldn't take place till next year because there's a long lead time in terms of some of the items that we need to be able to do, to be able to build that out. But as it relates to the travel center and the truck and trailer park, we can break ground at the end of the summer and the beginning of this fall. So as soon as possible.
Break ground for what?
This is more, okay, remember when we all had this dialogue, when they came in with the board first group? This is for the travel center that's going to be in phases. So at their location at University Parkway and Central Avenue, I got two developments going. Is that the northeast corner?
Yes.
On the northeast corner. So phase one will be their Shell gas station, Jimmy John's, Dunkin' Donuts, Pizza Hut, and enclosed in that campus area. And then next year, a couple years, there'll be phase, and then they'll be going to the truck wash and
we're going to be doing truck and trailer, long-term truck and trailer parking, and then we're going to be building a 900,000 square foot industrial.
What's in the building?
The industrial building, at this point, we don't have users for that.
Basically, when they build an industrial building, they call that a spec building. So they'll build it to a certain specification, and then they'll shop it for a tenant that's already done it. This is not in the tip area. It's an incentive package, and it's a good thing because right now we've got 100% of nothing on that corner with grass fields.
That's what Central and Stone.
That's when you just come up with I-57. I put it like this.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, for those who ever go on Bishop Ford at 394, when you get off on Salt Trail and you see the new travel center with the Dunkin' Donuts, Jimmy John's like that, very similar to that, but this is a different vendor. This is Quick Trip. This is a Quick Trip. No, this is the same people, man. This is the. Oh, yes, I got your glasses on tonight. So, Trustee Lewis, anybody from the audience, residents?
Of course, they should have been built a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because you look at Monique, and you look at 394 over there in South Trail. So we're talking about something similar.
Similar, but it will be, 100% brand new, state of the art. So stuff from Moniz.
Yeah.
got all these trucks and things.
Oh, all the facilities and all these new buildings are 100% new in town. And one of the things that I mentioned earlier this evening is that we probably have some of the strongest industrial bases.
How many floors in the building?
I'm sorry?
How many floors?
Just one floor, single story.
So the first thing that you're building is the industrial building?
No, first thing is the travel center.
The travel center?
Travel center.
Okay, the travel center. And then the next thing is the industrial.
That's correct.
Why the industrial first before the truck stop?
Truck stop is first. Travel center, truck stop.
I mean,
Same
the
thing.
truck wash, I'm sorry, you said the truck washing station. Why not that second?
Well, I think that the main driver here is the diesel sales and the gas sales, along with the convenience store sales that we're gonna do on the interior. And so that's gonna come first. Industrial is a little bit longer to plan, and it's a separate parcel, it's from a separate owner. So we're gonna close on that a little bit later. No, it'll probably be some kind of warehouse or manufacturing facility, probably similar to the other users that are on the corridor. You already have Amazon, Foods, Clorox, Georgia Pacific. So, some kind of retailer that wants to be along this corridor.
So that has to be part of this, that has to be part of it.
It's gonna be part of the overall development, yeah, because at some point, one of the big benefits here in terms of doing this kind of a phased development, in terms of doing both, is, we're gonna be investing, $80 million in the community. We'll be able to, hire local residents, work with the community.
That's
in many, in terms of any way that you can.
Minority contracting opportunities, not just,
Minority contracting.
yeah, I'm talking on that, DBE, MBE certifications, you qualify. Go ahead, Dan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're, this is a partnership. We work with many different communities and a lot of work in the city of Chicago. Yeah, those are all things that, we're well aware of, that are important, to be able to provide services and be able to track tax revenues. We're talking tonight about all these different things that you need and that are important to you. Well, by bringing this kind of economic development, this would be a generational opportunity for the city.
So for the travel center was good, I think you agree with that, but you said the industrial part, that you gotta build the building and you don't know who's gonna be in there. Can you all make sure you know before you build it, that who's gonna wanna take on that?
The real advantage here, okay, is that you're gonna build a state-of-the-art industrial building. So you're gonna get a very, very, very high quality tenant. My partners that are gonna be working on this, they're gonna invest.
You just gotta say something, don't you, Ms. Miller?
They're gonna invest $50 million. We'll find a good tenant.
And can you, provide a breakdown of what the, black contractors, minority contractors, what that would be like?
In terms of committing, we don't have anybody today, but we will commit to hire a portion of the work that we're doing on our side. As it relates to the travel center, the other part of it is and the need that we.
Trustee Shirley? Good. Trustee Sonia?
I have one question. When you hire contractors, are they gonna be unionized?
Are they gonna be what? I'm sorry.
Unionized contractors.
We don't want no, in other words, we don't want no rats on the construction site.
We want to get the most competitive product that we can. We want to be able to hire locally. As it relates to that, probably because of the extensive trucking that we're doing there, I would say that they're probably going to be union contractors, but I don't want to necessarily be able to commit to that. We did commit towards the MBE component in terms of what we're doing.
We did not have an ordinance just saying that we have to.
No, there was another line we didn't talk about because you can't say this,
I mean, this is a private contractor first, so for your purposes, when you do your own village work, you have to provide a prevailing wage, and most prevailing wages, you get raised, so almost all of those people who are union contractors. This is an outside private thing, so you can't dictate.
We can ask, encourage, and participate for the qualified skill people, you know, but yeah, there's not a requirement that we can actually just like, you know, this way or the highway. So this is something that everybody has been a part of for X amount of months. The pimp is coming to a head right now, so any questions? Should we move this on, guys? Move it on. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys have a fantastic evening. There are motion? Okay, trustee McFadden, you have a question. Go ahead. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. All right, we'll get it done by the end of the month. Let's look forward to welcome to the great village at University Park. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. All right, fantastic. What are your friends?
Thank you, Mayor, for what you had to say. I really appreciate that. I myself is from 39th and Lake Park. I understand. My whole thing that I want to share here is we have a lot of industrial park companies out here. Over the summer, there needs to be training programs and they need to reinvest back into University Park. They need to have training programs at those facilities, Clorox and Amazon, and all these places out here to keep our youth active. They don't have to be where they're paying them, but they have people that are there in HR that can create these things, because if they're not reinvesting in our community, that's a problem.
Exactly.
So just to say, you can have 10 to 20 youth come in, and maybe that's 2 to 3 times out of the week, that's giving them something to do. That's showing them a trade. That's showing them that it's a possibility to have a job at this particular facility. That's showing them other avenues. First of all, pre-mooning is not doing their job as far as the high school goes. Okay? They have taken our youth and have not displayed to them that there are minority teachers that can teach at that high school. And the reason being is simply because they're getting their student loans paid off.
Yeah.
And that's why they're allowing all these teachers to come in from the outside of Illinois, from Indiana to come and teach in Illinois. My point is that they're not showing our kids that there are job opportunities. They're not showing them where the jobs are. They're not exploiting them to career opportunity. They're just saying, go to college. Now, we knew when we were growing up in Chicago that, yeah, you should go to college to get your degree. But there are also trades.
Washburn, Dawson.
Trades that these kids can do. And if there's a way to show them electricity, plumbing, all these, when they came in, they said, this consulting firm, they said that they have a program. So these are the type of things in water. My children go to Central State in Ohio. And they have a water program there. So these same gentlemen that are talking about this water program, that is the highest, one of the highest paying jobs that none of our children know about. So these are the type of things that are trades that they can go into that are here. And if we can fix our own water one day,
that's it.
We don't have to depend on nobody else. But this is the thing. They never want us to be self-sufficient. My problem is that if we're going to allow them to come in and have another industrial park, okay, they need to give something to our youth. Right. They need to give back.
So,
To the
point well taken, and see,
Instead of locking them up.
and see, yeah, oh, absolutely, because we're not an advocate.
In the camera and lock them up.
Some of them need to be sure as that, but there's an alternative, because when she was speaking about the trades, I was at Washburn Trade, Dawson Steel Center. And see, it's not really, to me, I used to be an advocate, college, but now it's basically about career choices. Because now that you mentioned that, we just setting up something for all of our residents. We got a state-of-the-art new IBEW, local number 9 in University Park, that sits on 12 acres. So they're encouraging us to start setting up community tours where our residents can come in and start working on apprenticeships for our young people. Because they knocked on our door saying, we ain't got no minority participation. They are the largest trainer right now in the University Park, the Chicago Transit Authority. They have a complete campus and are under construction right now, bringing motor cars and everything, women and guys. So you might not want to go to college and be in foot of a debt. It might not be for everybody. But when you come out that apprenticeship program, you don't owe nobody a dime, and you start collecting right away. So we're all for that, and we like that. Yep.
When they go in, they come out making $60.
Same thing.
So these are trades that they're not offering our children.
Mm-hmm.
They're not offering it, and they're not opening their doors to say, come in and we can show you. If they started this apprenticeship in their junior year in high school, sophomore in high school, they come out of school and they're making money. They're not running around looking for a gun.
So yeah, that's good, because what the board has done, and I gotta really appreciate this board of trustees, what we have done, we have initiated under ordinance a community benefits program. Every single time that we deal with these contractors, the board may pass this, but my conversation is, it's an official document. But we don't need you to, it's fine to come in here and get a return on your investment, but we don't need more investment on your side. We need to be a community partner, be engaged in our community. So we have got this program, if we all pass it, so now we need to implement that and start working on it. It's there. It's there. And like I told the other day, that's how we got this Craig Park done. Didn't cost us a doggone dime. We got a skate park coming, new basketball ramps and stuff at Front Park, because I told the guy, the board passed everything. This shit don't come legal. So I put my signature on there.
I need my umbrella.
Yeah, I know. So now when we go down to Craig Park, a park that hasn't been touched in 20 plus or 30 years, we got brand new lights. We got the infrastructure, washrooms and the toilets and everything, a brand new playing surface. We're gonna have a paved parking lot stripe. They're taking the old dilapidated tennis courts and turn it into a skate park. They're taking the old basketball courts, re-asphalted, putting state-of-the-art basketball rims with it. Slowly but surely, we're transitioning. So we're on the right path, and we need people like you with that fire that's real. Appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to speak to the resident about the apprenticeship and the trade programs. I participated in a lot of Elk Grove Village, a lot of those seminars, and a lot of the problems that have to do with the apprenticeship programs for the youth in our community is the basic skills test. That a lot of our children and our kids in our community who would qualify for that program do not have the minimum basic skills. So my suggestion would be to have some type of seminar to make sure that they have the readiness to even apply for the apprenticeship programs, because IBEW can invite us all the time. But if our kids are not at the minimum board to even apply, they won't get in the program. But I'm just saying, if the opportunity is there and we're not meeting the education requirements, if it's in our power, if that's sitting down like lean on me and, doing all that, then that it won't happen.
Right. With that test,
Right.
Who's not gonna pass the test when they get out of high school?
Right.
It's no different than Everton and everybody else that does for their children.
Right.
Right. And another thing that I feel that we need to fix in our community, we have a fire department and there's not the diversity in there. We don't have one minority, male or female fire department. So next town meeting, we'll be having a presentation by the Black Fire Brigade. The Black Fire Brigade is now establishing itself and is well known. They are finding expedited ways to get minorities into the firefighting industry. So they have said a lot of things. Oh, Mayor, when you come in, we know that you want training, we want to see outreach to the community, we want to see pancake days and all that, but they sang the same old song, so we're gonna find a way to make a way. Firefighters make really good money, they work 180 days a year, and the torch has been the old thing. Granddaddy was the firefighter, passed it down to the son passed it down to the other son, then grandson gets it. In the meantime, they outclassify it, so I would advocate for our fire department, like in Chicago, you're 18 years old, we send them to the police academy, we can send them to the fire academy and get you the same certification. So we got a lot of work to do. Same with the railroad. Good relationship now with CNN. Since we worked jointly on getting this railroad crossing fixed, they've got programs. So we're on the right track and we just need to work together because see, as long as they fracture us, they win. Just like the world. The minute that we start working together, it's the biggest threat to this economy because we already spend the most money.
The biggest deal, I gotta say this, the biggest deal with the fire department is you must pass EMS. You gotta pass EMS, you gotta do EMS. If you don't do EMS, then you can't be a fireman. And that's what people don't know.
We got a couple of announcements for the trustees and we're gonna get out of here and enjoy the nice evening. Trustee McFadden, please. Speak into the mic like you're singing at church.
First of all, I would like to say earlier,
No. Give me a little juice. Give me a little juice, man, please.
What are we waiting on?
For your tablet, I can't go down. You have your outside voice ready?
yes.
Okay, well, so go ahead, trustee. No, you got it.
Okay. First of all, Mildred Morgan made a statement earlier that the children don't have anything to do. Well, I would like to make let you know about something that is positive with our kids. Congratulations to my son, Arthur Lee Rabbit Fan III, and the 41 other students from Creek-Monee High School for being inducted into the National Honor Society on Thursday, May 5th, 2022 at Creek-Monee High School. Congratulations to all the kids. Secondly, I would also like to thank Keely Childers for all of her help and hard work that she has done over the years with the kids and the village of University Park. I have lived here for 22 years and my 3 children have all had the pleasure of being involved in the sports of soccer, cheerleading, basketball, football, and baseball, and interacting with Keely since she was the director of the Park and Recreation Department. Plan and organize with the help of others the basketball awards program and the job fair for the village. She always makes sure we are informed of what is going on in the village so we can share it with others. Keely is awesome, and I would just like to thank her for all that she does for us and to let her know how important she is to us in the village of University.
Thank you very much. Trustee Jenkins.
I will also. Ms. Keely for the award that she gave me. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to the basketball program because of my dad, but thank you. It's in on my little shelf. Thank you. But I also would like to say something about baseball and the 2 ladies that have worked. It takes a team, so I can't say just the 2 ladies. It's a whole team of us that has had work, and not like me, but they have really put their hard work into this program. I mean, unreal. And I just have to ask them to stand up. Ms. Donna Dilworth, Ms. Mildred Morgan, and Ms. Robin Walker, along with Cynthia Hill, David Savier, Greg Barksdale,
and the countless others that have put in a lot of hard work in getting this organized. We were fortunate to have H&R Block, a next door neighbor, to join us in the cleanup of Regal Farm. They came out with a food truck, T-shirts, and everything that we needed, and also donate all of the paint, all of the brushes, anything that we thought we needed. They supported this baseball organization. And I just have to say thank you for all of their hard work, all of their effort, and everything that they do for the children here in University Park. So yes, we have to always know that if we don't have a lot, we can make do with what we do have. And I'm so grateful to them. And I just want to know that we're gonna have another cleanup, we're gonna have a painting party, so those who can come on out and help us paint Regal Farm.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. If no one else. Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, okay. Motion by trustee Lewis, second by trustee Bowden and trustee McFadden. There was a tie, so we'll vote on that. And roll call, Madam Clerk. I thank you guys for coming out. We're gonna have more positive workshops, and let's get engaged. Let's work together. Let's beat the odds. Let's win. Both sides.
Both sides.